Hello everybody, and welcome to my first tutorial. And today's tutorial is going to be on the Slik U-212 Deluxe tripod. I happen to be walking around a Goodwill store, thrift store, and found this one on the rack, and they only wanted like $8 for it. And compared to my little $25 Target tripod, I was like, holy cow, this thing weighs a ton. It's super heavy duty. So figure, hey, $8, I'm going to snatch it up. Well, I didn't realize it until after I spent my $8 that apparently the Slik tripods have a issue with the leg clamps. They develop cracks right right at the pressure point when you do clamp your tripod down here so you can lock your legs and it doesn't move. Well, I had about 4 of them on here that were broken. Now, I was actually able to order the parts directly from Slik, their U.S. distributor, which is Kinko Tokina USA. So I believe their website was kinkousa.com. All 6 of the leg clamps with shipping and everything was $18.52. Now, they were also nice enough to send me the instructions on how to replace the leg clamps. But there was only one issue with the instructions, and that is the fact that, I don't know if you can clearly see that, but it references back to numbers, which are the part numbers, the different part numbers to the tripod, which then we have to flip this sheet over, and we're given an exploded diagram of all the different part numbers, which, I'm sorry, I don't have a 4-year degree from MIT, so looking at this and really trying to read the instructions, well, just like any red-blooded American male, what'd I do? Yeah, the instructions out the window. So, now, there was one other issue that, if you are not familiar with the Slik U-212 tripod there, is that if you do get one used like me, you're not going to be aware that it requires a different type of clamp that attaches to your camera other than the basic square bottom clamp. Well, these are available off Amazon.com for $7.95. So no big deal there either. So figure $19 in the parts, $8 for this, so $27, and then $8 for the tripod. So we're talking $35, and we're going to have a new working Slik U-212 tripod that I think BH Video, something like $139. So I'm still not mad. So here we go. Now, first thing we're going to have to do here is there's a pin, little gold colored pin right here. We're going to have to drive this pin out to release the clamp. Now, we can do this a couple of different ways. It doesn't matter if you drive the pin up or down or left or right, every which way you want to look at it. Now, hopefully you'll have better working conditions than I do here. I am actually in the sleeper area of my 18-wheeler trying to do this. What you're going to need is something small enough to get inside the pin that you can punch out with a hammer. So here I'm going to use just a cheap Torx key set, and I'm going to make sure that that fits in there, and it does. So now we will turn this. Now, another thing I'll point out, I'm not too worried about putting a few scratches on it or anything like that, because it was actually in really good shape, but I'm just not worried about putting a few scratches on it. But if you are worried about scratching it, you can put you a piece of tape right along this leg here, or if you're replacing a bottom clamp down it, to protect yourself from any scratches. So we're going to simply try to get this around here where you can see what I am going to try to do here. Okay, that looks pretty good. So there again, we're going to position this onto the pin, and we're going to tap it with a hammer. Well, we're going to try to. I can't do it that way, guys. Sorry. Gotta turn this where I can see. Okay. So here we go. Line this up on the pin. And, well, as this, like I said, hopefully you'll have better working conditions than what I am in. It's a little difficult here to exactly see what I'm doing, but I have already done this. I'm just doing this again for this tutorial. There we go. So we're just going to drive the pin on out. You'll see the pin starting to come out here. So we will finish pushing the pin out like so. Now you guys will hear some background noise probably. That's another truck driving by. Okay, now we're going to remove our gray clamp. And now on the inside you're going to see a white square plastic piece with a silver spring in it. Now I'm going to go ahead and remove the U-shaped spring first. I know it's really hard to see. And now I am going to simply remove the plastic piece that was inside there. Okay, now I'll set that there. I'll set that there. Okay. Now here comes the tricky part. Slide your broken leg clamp down to the bottom of the bottom leg. Now you're going to see an opening here. Carefully cover this opening with your finger. There is a spring-loaded. There are two spring-loaded plastic pieces in there. They are called the leg stops. Now, if you do not cover this with your finger, it will shoot out just like that. I got very lucky just then. And there's your spring. And there's plastic piece number 1. Now we still need to be careful because there's plastic piece number 2. So now we're going to set this off to the side. And we're actually going to go ahead and let this plastic piece fall out as well. So we have two plastic pieces that go into the leg here, and then the plastic and the spring piece that go on the outside of the leg. So now, paying attention to keep your leg locks in the same direction, simply remove the old one off the leg. And reattach the new one as soon as I find the new one. Reattach the new one, slide it down. Now we need our tripod back. The big opening is going to go to the top. We're going to have our clamps facing up as well. But before we can do that, we need to reinstall our plastic housing here. We're just going to roll this over, hold it with our thumb, roll it back. Install the spring. Now these little plastic Monopoly houses are only going to fit in one way, and you're going to make sure to hold them with your finger and your thumb. Re-slide this back in. Again, carefully holding and sliding in. Now we're going to slide the new leg lock up into place. We're going to This plastic housing piece we're going to reinstall, put it in now. It will have a hole in the bottom and a relatively flat surface on top. The hole needs to go down. Now we're going to reinstall our spring. Now, like I said, this spring is a U-shape, and the U-shape will be facing upward. So we will drop that in there. And there are also indentions in the plastic piece to allow the spring to seat in there as so. Now for the tricky part, and that is reinstalling our pin. The pin will reinstall the same way it come out. There again, we can either drive it in from the bottom, or we can drive it in from the top, or left or right, over how you choose to look at it. Now it's a little tricky trying to get it lined up exactly, but once you do, it'll just slide right in there. Then we can take our hammer, tap, 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 tap. Now we're going to go back to our multi-tool. This time we're going to choose one that's a little bit larger. We want it to fit over the clamp, over the pin, but we do not want to drive the pin back through. So we go tap, tap. Yeah, a little bit better than that. You do want to try to get it flush in there. It is a pretty good tight fit, and it will get flush back in there. Like so. Now we're done. Now our leg, we lock it, does not move, and we're perfectly function. Replacing all the leg clamps are precisely the same as the other. So hope this helped you out. Thank you very much.